When people start telling me about people that they hate, they start hating on black people or Mexican people or whoever else. I used to tell people that I felt that way about Canadians, and people go, well, why? Canadians are so nice. Well, it's the fact of the matter, I don't actually feel that way about Canadians. Nobody really feels that way about Canadians. So far as I'm aware, most of the Canadians I've met have been very nice people, but there's a lot of nasty people all over the world. People like Cora Bowers. And of course, she wanted to do this stuff along with literally hundreds of other people. Some of them creating literally dozens of accounts to harass me, and some of them, over the years, creating literally hundreds of fake accounts to harass me. And I do, in fact and indeed, speak up. Someone has to. Many people tried to destroy my Facebook so they could destroy evidence of their wrongdoing. People like Cora Bowers. People who wanted to destroy evidence that I was speaking up and had been all along. That Natalie Marie Bollinger was absolutely not the victim. She just played victim because she got busted and she was embarrassed. Let's make sure that we give this one Canadian her 15 minutes. Not that anybody cares. Oh, why do you care about one Canadian? It's not just one Canadian, folks. See, when you take a look at how many people have been predatory towards me, maybe you start to get to realize how overwhelming it is to have to deal with those people. And then you have to sort through, because some of them have friends that'll play nice with you. Like Cora Bowers. Her friend wanted to threaten me with legal action. Legal action? I'm not the one threatening to slit people's throats. Some of you say, oh, well, that's not a threat, Sean. That's not a threat. She just typed, love to slit your throat. Well, lots of people type stuff like that at me. If I say anything like that, then it means I'm a horrible person, doesn't it? Who must be out to harm people, doesn't it? You'll have somebody to turn me in immediately if I was to say I wanted to do anything of that sort. If I wished for people to get their throats slit, I'd get treated like I was threatening to kill them. And meanwhile, this woman thinks that it's okay to take advantage of disabled people like that, thinks it's okay to harm men like that, because of course she's in Canada. If I was bound and determined to get to Canada and do something, there ain't nothing that would stop me. The problem is, there is nothing good that I would do in Canada. What purpose is there? I do have a lot of physical disabilities that prevent me from, well, doing a lot of things. And of course, I would have to break a lot of laws in order to get into Canada. And I'm not interested in doing that. A lot of people wanted to be predatory towards me, and mean to me, and cruel to me. And of course, you guys tell me just to ignore it. But it's not just Cora Bowers. It's not just the point of her doing that. It's also the point that her and her friends wanted to get involved in playing victim and pretending like I'm some sort of a horrible person because they wanted to be threatening towards me and harass me as a group. But it's okay, I'm a dude, I should be able to handle this, right? I need to just man up, right? Well, manning up doesn't get rid of my disabilities. If I'm not able to do something, I'm not able to do something. That's not any sort of hatred or discontent towards you. But when you've got people like Cora Bowers, who has that much hatred, And you've got so many people like Cora Bowers who get into this true crime stuff. They don't care what's true and what isn't. And those people did a lot of damage. Not just in typing stuff like this, but also in trying to make sure that evidence was destroyed. Now you get to appeal that stuff, but it doesn't let you appeal it on a telephone. You have to get on an actual computer to actually appeal that stuff. And if you don't have the ability to do that, you're screwed. For a good long while, I didn't have a computer. I had to spend my disability money to get a new computer because mine was stolen over a girl I didn't kill. Now, when they found Natalie's killer, that's when we found out that every American is a coward. Every one of them. There are no good people here. There are nice people, yes. You can find nice people everywhere. You can find mean people everywhere. But you're not going to find good people in America. We've got too many bigots. Too many people who only want to fight for their own group, their own individual group, not recognizing that we're all stuck on this rock together. I've had a lot of black people tell me that, well, basically tell me I need to go to the back of the bus because since I'm white, bad things could not possibly happen to me. No, statistics show it's poverty related, bud, more so than your skin color. Now, I'm not accepted by any of my hetero friends. I'm not accepted by any of my gay friends. I was accepted by some of my lesbian friends for a time, until Natalie Bollinger got killed. But before that, those were the most fun people to hang out with. Why did I love hanging out with lesbians so much? Because I'm not into sex, and I know that that's not going to be something that's going to get in the way. There isn't going to be some jealous boyfriend who thinks that I'm trying to hop in on his main squeeze. I also know that I don't have to worry about her developing a crush and trying to think that whether or not I care about her is dependent on whether or not I'm sharing my man parts. Why can't I just be me? Now, of course, I tried to look up what non-sexual is. They call it asexual, but I was reading the description for asexual. It didn't seem quite right. See, here's the thing. I'm not against the feeling of busting a nut. I'm just allergic to having to deal with the BS that goes along with it. If we're friends, let's be friends. It shouldn't be based on sex. Also, if you can go find somebody else, if that's what you're interested in, I would much appreciate that because I'm not interested. That's not a part of your anatomy I want to mess with. Cora Bowers was one of many, many, many people who did these things. And then there's people who are supposedly my friends, who've been taking advantage of me for years. And I knew it. At the same time, I still needed their help. There's a lot of people who I told, hey, you need to get off my Facebook friends list. You don't need to be here. We're not. And they don't go. Instead, in most cases, it becomes, all right, well, let's argue. Let's turn it into an argument. I'm going to argue over not whether I should go. I'm going to tell you, you got to block me. Oh, okay, I can do that. But it's the example being set that's important. Lots of people felt real liberal about getting on and telling me how to think and how to feel. Not listening to me, just telling me how to think and how to feel over and over and over again. People telling me how to think and how to feel. Did any of them care to listen to how I think or how I feel? No. They all wanted to talk to me like I'm too retarded to be able to stick myself in another person's shoes. No, it's very easy to put myself in another person's shoes. It's also easy for you idiots to look at the conversations between Natalie Bollinger and I and realize real quick, fast, and in a hurry that she was full of shit. That's not my fault. Cora Bowers is one of many people who wanted to harass me and threaten me and continue this. Now, did she do this out of the kindness of her heart? Is that why she did this? She did this out of the kindness of her Christian heart because she cares about disabled people. Is that why she did this? Is that why she chose to be abusive? And of course, she doesn't make a very good example of